let's do it. What do you have for me? Is that enough? As of this recording, we are in an ongoing meta, so no better time than to use Enchantress. Blizzard is a good complement with her because you can remove Blizzard's negative ongoing ability. Our cheap cards include Hawkeye, Rocket Raccoon, Sunspot, and Nightcrawler. Medusa is just a good card at her cost. Star-Lord in this deck is always played on later turns, almost always. Vision provides us some flexibility. Warpath is both our power in this deck and also potentially some mind games. White Queen can give us more power from our opponent, but also let us know if we need to retreat or not. When I was early on in my collection, Scarlet Witch was in so many of my decks, so I'm throwing her in here because she has a soft place in my heart. Okay, now we have Punk and Nexus. Uh-oh, do they recognize me? Because I don't have a good deck. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. They have an ongoing deck. So we will hold on to Star-Lord. Do I get down Hawkeye into White Queen? I think I do. So until I draw into Scarlet Witch, I kind of have to play for the Nexus. And the Chimichanga? I want to try to deny them this. Or is this a Juggernaut? It is a Juggernaut. A Cersei? That must be their Iron Patriot card. So we did make it close. There is the Scarlet Witch. So let's snap. Let's go Star-Lord and Lizard, because I'm just going to focus on winning these two locations. They have a very cheap Cersei, so we will see what they do here. But hopefully what you're about to see is Scarlet Witch shining. So I'm going to play Vision into Stark Tower. Interesting. Vision here. They're going to expect me to move it into the Nexus, and ultimately I have options. Okay, Cersei and Bolts. Okay. So how do I win this? They have 8 power here, I have 8 middle. I can go Medusa, Rocket, Nightcrawler, and Scarlet Witch? No, I have so much. Let me go. Let me make sure I'm a little bit safer middle and do that. Oh, okay. There we go. We got it. Perfect. So clearly we went up against the human. You are seeing Scarlet Witch's. You are seeing Scarlet Witch's absolute utility, and we took 4 cubes from a human with a Series 2 deck, and they're having fun. That's important to remember. Please have a good time when you're playing Marvel Snap. And with their fancy Series 5 cards, we used a pure Series 2 deck. Got 4. Okay, we have Cat Dad with a potential ongoing deck. Sunspot. Let's get Sunspot here, because what I can do is I can get Lizard and Enchantress down left to potentially get this bonus. Ooh, that's fantastic. So I'll get Lizard here. And then I potentially could get Warrior Falls. Okay. I guess it's just Nightcrawler here. Are you going to play your Sam Wilson now? Because then I can Enchantress both. There is the Cosmo. No Enchantress for me. So, can I win Spider Island? What type of ongoing deck are you? I also could turn off Spider Island. Okay, the Cosmo to protect the Captain Carter. 6 energy. Do I just soak? What do I do? And just try to win Warrior Falls. Let's see what they have. I am going up against the deck I teched against. I could, well, like, should I play Enchantress here and destroy the shield? I could do that. Let's do that. Do I snap? Because what are they? They aren't, how are they winning these other lanes? I'm curious to see how they win these other lanes. And I'm going to call them on it. I don't think they can win these other lanes. Okay, so there's the shield. They cannot move it anymore. Captain America dies. Sorry. Or I could just Scarlet Witch. Vision and Scarlet Witch. That way all my characters survive. No. Because if I do Rocket, presumably all my characters survive. And, well, if I leave this here, I force them to have to play here. So I'll leave this here. Okay, let's do it. What do you have for me? A Goliath and a Mystique? Is that enough?
I am.
Hey, folks. That ain't enough. And I'm glad they gave me a lot of time to reconsider my turn, because hitting the Enchantress over here, I definitely didn't want to change Warrior Falls. That way they couldn't Iron Man over here. And again, this deck is a Series 2 deck is a meta killer, because this is what the meta is as of recording. And having Enchantress just, boy, is she powerful. And so we hard pivoted away from left. They played Cosmo. Not an issue, because that's how good Enchantress is. And like I said in my preview video,
trash.
Okay, now we have Danny. Good old Danny boy. Let's go Sunspot over here. That buff would have been nice to get on Sunspot. Yeah, Medusa is officially in Shang-Chi range. But I guess I will do that anyway. I could drop her if I play Scarlet Witch middle. And Avengers Compound. So we hold. This is why Sunspot's in the deck. Sometimes you have cards you want to play later, and all 4 of these cards, ideally, we want to play later in the game. Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon, we want to know with some certainty where they are playing. We are going up against this card. So if they have a Mobius, I said it wrong, a Morbius, then our Enchantress works. We can take their Apocalypse. We almost certainly play both Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord right next turn. It's guaranteed they play there. Unless they're skipping turn 5, which would be really odd for a discard deck. So I think the plan is to load up middle Is this their Dracula? It is their Gambit. What? I mean, I don't know what's the best hit here for us. Maybe? Oh, Vision. That's tough to know. Vision is 8, but movable. This is 8 and 5, 13? I think I just do all of this. I could hold for an Enchantress and Scarlet Witch play. Nah. Yeah, there's the Enchantress. But I don't have anything else to pair with it. So let's see what this turns into. Maybe if it turns into the Nexus. Sokovia, what does that hit? Of course. Scarlet Witch, I thought you were on my side. Or the only hope is that they don't play into Nidavellir. And it's tempting because they're not snapping. And so I would just do this. But where do they think they're safest at? But smart money is you always play middle. That way you're winning all 3 lanes and force me to win all 3 lanes. So we will retreat later. They were certain of their move. They had it locked in. And again, just retreat for 1. It's a slow and steady climb. Okay, now we are up against Frost. One of the signs of bots is loading into games quickly. And I loaded into this game pretty quickly. Because of the bonus energy, let's get Medusa down immediately, just in case this is a closed off location. This is definitely a bot. This is around my collection level, but nobody at my collection level, their highest rank 74, that's suspect. Okoye is also suspect. There is Kiln. I shall go Sunspot here. And then maybe I go Lizard middle. Because it's not really going to get filled up. I mean, we definitely go Nightcrawler over here. Okay, that is a perfect lane for an Enchantress with Ant-Man there. And I think we just hold. So Soak, if they get a card middle that's big enough, that's not possible. Okay, the other thing with bots, they have the lead officially. So, yes, they still have the lead officially. They're winning 2 lanes, so I snap. Get down Vision, because that's just a lot of points. Okay, and then can I see an Enchantress? Yes, I can. But this is what we're doing. Get the buff, take away Ant-Man's buff. And there is no card that's big enough for them to win. Very easy dispatching of a bot, and let's get back to a human. Okay, now we have Zeph with what appears to be an ongoing deck. Nothing to do on turn 1. We shall get Medusa middle. This deck does not run Shang-Chi. So, no easy taking out of that monster. Okay, where is the Lady of the Hour? And Eternity Range. And a Snap. Okay. This is 7 points. Can they beat that? I guess we'll find out. So I'll stay through the Snap. Okay, so there are plenty of targets for this Enchantress if I draw into her. Hawkeye and White Queen. I can play Vision middle to avoid clogging myself. There is Enchantress. Do I snap back? Let's do it. Let's see if this is my last game. Let me see if I can go out on a win. I did draw the Lady of the Hour. So they better have Cosmo. Oh, hey, everybody. This is Nerd's Editor. I don't think we've ever met. So there were some audio issues. So I will be watching this for the first time back. What the nerd right now is contemplating is what lane to play Enchantress in. So he could play Enchantress middle and take out this Captain Carter and Goliath, but the Moonstone is really worrisome. So by playing Enchantress right, we take out this Moonstone, we're kind of abandoning middle and not really caring. Uh-oh, maybe he's not? Is he reconsidering? What is happening? And Nerd actually moved Vision left in order to kind of force them to play everywhere. Oh, he did reconsider. So he's taking out Captain Carter. He wasn't worried about the Moonstone lane. But what it actually turns out to be is, yeah, there's nothing to worry about here. They loaded up on the middle and right. Because they had Moonstone, you figure they were going to play a card there, so abandoning that lane is relatively safe. They're definitely going to play a card in Captain Carter's lane. And so now it is just figuring out, and this guy is laughing because Zeph has a good sense of humor with that emote. That is how you use the Deadpool emote. Enchantress, I'm probably opining about Enchantress and how this is a Series 2 deck, folks, and it was taking out all of these Captain Carter decks, just bang, bang, bang. Anytime I played a Captain Carter deck, especially while I was recording, during testing, it still had a high level of success, but you can't win every single game against the deck, even if you're teching against it. So there were the odd game I would lose against the ongoing decks, Captain Carter decks. But by and large, I was winning the vast majority of them on the backs of Enchantress. And what Nerd is explaining here is the same thing I just did, kind of. And it really didn't matter what lane I was playing Enchantress in. Thanks to all the members of the channel, and thank you to everybody that watches this deep into the video. The channel is growing, my subscriber count is growing, views are growing, it's all up, all good. So thank you. With this deck, it's the perfect time right now to climb. As long as the meta's still ongoing, it's perfect to climb with a deck like this. Now, I cut out plenty of losses, I cut out plenty of bot games. But when I say losses, I'm literally retreating for 1 cube because it wasn't an ongoing matchup. I retreat against Hela. I retreat against a big card deck. I retreat against, I think it was Athena, Kitty, Angela type deck because my deck's not designed for that. So I'm retreating for 1. I did a lot of retreating for 1. But guess what? When I faced an ongoing deck, 2 cubes, 4 cubes, 8 cubes. That's right, folks, 8 cubes. You just saw it. So that's when you are at a low CL, you need to figure out what you want to attack, if you want to climb, if you want to win, other than having fun. So you need to figure out what you want to attack, what's the best deck to attack, the most popular deck. And because of Captain Carter's release, because of Goliath's release, just ongoing is really full out on into the meta. And you saw we even were able to beat an ongoing deck that was running Cosmo. So Enchantress just is worth her weight in gold right now. If you are watching this much removed from the current recording date that I'm doing this all on, then this deck may be much less effective because it's just a different meta. So you just have to evaluate that. I have other lower CL level decks that can work better into different metas. Shang-Chi is the inverse of that, the other side of that actually with other metas. So check out those, it's in a separate playlist. Otherwise, You all should be heartened, like everybody, even if you're not a low CL level player, that Enchantress is able to put in this much work. So just design a deck that can just naturally fit Enchantress in. There is I'll put it up on the screen, the thumbnail, but it was during Sanctum Sanctorum. It was during the Sanctum Sanctorum event. I created this deck specifically for that, but I went on to win an infinite border with that in Conquest mode with that same deck, and it can tech against the current meta as well because it has Enchantress, and I think it also has Shang-Chi in it. So you just have tech for everything. So if you're a higher CL level player, that's a kind of a deck that is in the same vein. It works in Enchantress very smoothly. It runs Red Guardian, at least the current version. I think then it had Rogue instead. Dealer's choice, but Red Guardian works against discard as well. So this meta, as long as it is ongoing, an ongoing meta is one of the easiest metas to win in. Bring Enchantress, and you're practically golden against humans. So, if you try out the deck, even if you're a high CL level player, you try out the deck, let me know. Again, be very careful. If somebody snaps on you, please retreat for 1 if you are not certain. You saw in that last game, they snapped on me. I kind of was loose. Thankfully, I drew an Enchantress. That's why I snapped back, because I drew an Enchantress. So you can get big cube wins from humans just off the back of Enchantress. Thanks for watching, and until next time.